Up on Cripple Creek, she sends me. If I sprig a leak, she mends me. What is up, world? It's time for another day in the album cover challenge. And today I'm going to talk to you about an album that came out in the best era of music, 1969's The Band by The Band, the most creatively titled band and album ever. The first time that I actually heard any music by the band, it was not performed by the band. I was at an Allman Brothers concert with my dad, and the Allman Brothers played a cover of The Weight, which is one of the most popular songs by the band, although it's not from this album. After I heard the Allman Brothers play it, I thought it was an Allman Brothers band song, and I kept looking for it in their catalog. And then one day I was playing pool with my dad, and we had just gone to the record store, and in the dollar bin he bought The Best of the Band, and I heard The Weight, and I was like, oh my god, this is that Allman Brothers song. And he goes, no, this is the band. If you don't know much about the band, they started off as the backing band for Ronnie Hawkins. It was Ronnie and the Hawks. And then eventually they became the backing band for Bob Dylan when he went electric. And then everybody loved the music that they were playing on their own, and they became the band. That's just how everybody referred to them, so they just kept that name. The album opens up with this song called Across the Great Divide. It has really killer horns in the background of the song that just add this light behind it. It's really cool. It sets the tone for the rest of the album and what you can expect to hear. I personally grew up in the suburbs, so I don't really have experience of what it's like to be out in the country or in a farm town, but this album has a sound that can make you feel like you're right there. The next song is called Rag Mama Rag. This song, honestly, it sounds like it could have been written for like the background music of two cowboys fighting in a bar, but like a comedy version, almost like a satire version of like a western bar fight. But for some reason, when I hear this song, and I don't like admitting this out loud, I wish I could like ragtime dance. It's just, it gives you this jump, jive feel to it, and it's cool. Check it out. The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down is one of the band's most popular songs overall, not just from this album. It's really sad but beautiful. It has some really great storytelling in the lyrics about the changing times and essentially the way of life that people were used to in this town changing with those times. A lot of these songs have stories that feel a lot older than the album even does, even though it's an old album now. The stories almost feel like they're from the turn of the 19th century into the 20th century. You can really feel that this is something Levon Helm actually lived through when you're listening to this song. It's really soulful, and the emotion in his voice is ever present, especially at the end of the song. Up on Cripple Creek is one of my favorite songs by the band. It's my second favorite song on the album. It's funky and groovy, and it's just like one of the most fun songs of all time as well. The first time I heard it, I was going to camp at School of Rock, and it was one of the songs that was chosen for our group to perform. It was an absolute blast, and I love the way that the organ works with that song as well. It's incredibly fun to listen to, and again, the story is just like silly and fun. It's a really simple and easy song to play as well, so if you're new to an instrument, I would recommend this, especially if you're looking to play a song with other people or sing and play at the same time. A lot of people know this song as well, even if they don't realize who it's by. I don't have to speak, she defends me, a drunkard's dream, if I ever did see one. There's a song on here called Jemima Surrender. It's one of the best like roots rock songs I've ever heard. I really love the way that the piano works with the horn section on this song. And then Robbie Robertson's guitar playing is really sweet as well. He really just plays little licks in between, but the guitar tone is thin and it just fits in. That's influenced me in a way where I like to use my lead guitar lines just as, I don't know, little details fit into like nooks and crannies of a song. Not too long ago, I watched a music documentary called Rumble that talks about Native Americans and their influence in rock and roll. I'd never realized this, but Robbie Robertson is a Native American. Now that I've heard him talk about his influence and the way that his heritage influenced his playing, I can also hear that in this album, and specifically on this song. My favorite song on this album is called Rockin' Chair. The first time I heard it was probably the first time I listened to this album in its entirety. I remember I was driving from Orlando up to New Jersey. He's singing about like going home and being away from home for a long time. So one of the lines that he sings is, "Oh, to be home again." It hit a spot. So this song, I feel like it embraces that. It puts the listener in a cathartic, nostalgic mood. The song makes me think about friends that, have made a big impact in my life, but just because of time, sometimes you lose contact with those people. It puts a smile on your face because it makes you think of good times with those people. The song kind of reminds me of Seamus from the album Metal that I did earlier this week by Pink Floyd. It has that same feeling of like sitting on a porch drinking sweet tea. And with this one, it specifically makes me think of playing music with my friends. Like just a couple of my guitar friends just sitting around playing guitars and singing a song all together. Levon Helm has one of my favorite voices in music. The band also got me to listen to different genres of music that I probably wouldn't have given as much of a chance if I hadn't enjoyed their music as much as I did. It honestly has R&B, it has soul, it has obviously rock and roll, it's got ragtime, it's got funk, and believe it or not, it's got some country music vibes to it too, and it's damn good. As a musician, I really love that the band just diversifies their sound, especially with sounds that really like weren't supposed to mix at the time. You never heard such country music influenced by the sound of the city, the soul sound. Honestly, like some of these songs are bluegrass that feel like they could be right at home in Motown. This is one of my favorite albums of all time. It holds a special place in my heart. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a big old smile on your face, and I'll see you tomorrow.